Hey MACURH, my name is Sammy Nabulsi for those of you who don't know who I am, and I'm the 2010-2011 Regional Director for the Midwest affiliate of College and University Residence Halls. I hope everyone is getting well rested after a great week in San Diego for the National Conference. I wanted to take this time to briefly introduce myself, some of the other members of the RBD, and what are some of our upcoming goals here in the coming year. First of all, I do want to try something a little different. As promised, when I did bid for Regional Director back in February, I wanted to try sending out YouTube newsletters as opposed to just your typical long list of items in an email, simply because I think this is a little more interesting to watch, a little more interactive. And then hopefully later at MACURH and No Frills, you guys can actually put a face to the name, and hopefully I'll be a little more approachable throughout the year. Obviously, in addition to myself, 5 other members were sworn into the Regional Board of Directors. They are Alex Debner of the University of Iowa, who will be your Associate Director of Finance and Records, Emily Hollander of Missouri State University, who will be your Associate Director of NRHH, Rex Wharton of Missouri University of Science and Technology, who will be your RCC of Programming and Resources, Tamra Dunn from Northwest Missouri State University, who will be your RCC of Recruitment and Retention, and also Jacob Mendez of Pittsburgh State University, who will be your RCC of Technology. We are the first regional board of directors that has been elected under the new restructuring of the regional board, and so throughout the year we really want you guys' feedback on if this is a structure that works, if we're able to cover all of our bases, and if we're easily approachable and identifiable for what your needs are, and if there's a point person for that specific suggestion or comment or need that you may have or your institution may have. Some of our goals for the year, obviously first and foremost, is going to be bringing in new schools. I think if you look through our records the past few years, although we've added new schools, there's been a substantial decrease actually in the amount of schools affiliated within the region. And I think the reason for this is because there's too much focuses during conference time. I think the conferences are probably the best experience, probably the best aspect of being involved with MACURH, but I think it's far more than that. You know, it's so rare that we're able to connect some of the best student leaders from universities all across the country. And so we need to take advantage of this situation. And so this regional board of directors really wants to find ways to engage individuals and institutions throughout the school year. So not only is being affiliated with MACURH something that's beneficial 3 times a year at conferences, but it's something that you can actually find resources in, find benefits from every single day that you're involved within your institution. And I think by doing this, by allowing schools to see the kind of involvement and the kind of benefits they can get throughout the year, more schools will be apt to want to join and affiliate with the region and hopefully stay that way for quite some time. In addition to this, we really want to reach some type of unprecedented transparency with everyone. I think as you guys being major stakeholders in the organization, we want to involve you guys as much as possible. And the only way that that's going to work is if the regional board of directors is extremely approachable. And so what we want to do is ensure that that we're sending things out such as YouTube newsletters, or we're having virtual office hours over the summer, which will function as informal times when you guys can come ask us questions, make comments, suggestions about the way we're doing business, without any type of structure to the meeting. Just kind of very open-ended, not mandatory time when you guys can come talk to us and discuss some of the things that may be on your mind that we're not necessarily looking at. In addition to this, I think by sending out these YouTube newsletters and also achieving some type of personal contact with everyone, it makes us very approachable. So throughout the year, if you have any ideas or concerns or want to pursue something or get involved with something, it's very easy for you to come and talk to us. And so if we're not meeting your needs in this way, make sure you guys are letting us know, because I think although it's part of our jobs to keep you guys accountable in getting work done throughout the year, it's also a main part of your guys' jobs to hold us accountable to some of the promises that we're making, especially when we bid for some of these positions. In addition to this, looking at some of the more specific goals of the other members of the regional board of directors, some of the things that we want to do is obviously revamp the way we do programming. We want to make sure that programming sharing is taking place throughout the year, not just at conferences when people are presenting programs, but Rex, especially the RCC of Programming and Resources, really wants to find ways in which you guys are trading ideas throughout the year, because I think all of you can reap the benefits from other schools, not just at conferences, but if every month we're sending out a newsletter and highlighting a program that some university is doing, or finding ways to have forums or chats in which you guys are talking about programs, not necessarily only at conferences, but even through some of our online functions, I think that's going to really improve the way a lot of these schools do business and the way a lot of these schools do their programming as well. And then lastly, we really want to find new ways to recognize individuals. I think the formal recognition tools that we have, such as OTMs, which, by the way, the June OTMs are due July 10th, so make sure you guys are writing some of those. But not just OTMs, but also some of the bids that we do during conferences. I think those are great mechanisms to recognize people. But we also want to look at some informal ways to recognize people, such as highlighting individuals who have really done great things at their institutions throughout the year, during our monthly newsletters and during conferences. That won't just necessarily function as some of the more formal things that we do, but still giving credit to individuals who honestly deserve the credit for what they're doing at their respective institutions, especially even those delegates who may not be highly involved at the region, but are still doing great things at their school and still meeting some of the goals and some of the visions that we have as a region. And then obviously affiliating new schools. We want to devise a strategy to affiliate some of the schools that are currently affiliated, affiliating schools that have never been affiliated, and also reaching out to schools who have been previously affiliated that are no longer affiliated. And we're going to do this by obviously creating new programs. We want to find ways to update all of our resources that we have and guides that we have, but also make sure that there's a lot of buy-in to the region. So how can we, finding out what it is that brings you guys back every year and making sure we're highlighting that to all these institutions and bringing them in, because I think the more schools we get involved with what we have here, the better the benefits and the bigger the benefits are going to be for everyone involved, including you guys. So that's really kind of some of our main goals that we have. As far as updates go, I don't want to get too long because I'm already at the 6:30 mark right now. And I do have quite a bit more to say, but we can certainly save that for another time. But something to make sure is I'd really encourage you guys to right now go to the website when you get a chance, MACURH.org, and update your school's contact information, because we are going to be sending a lot of things out over the summer, because I think this is the best time for us to get a lot of work done. And so we want to make sure we're getting that information to the right person. And also, the Regional Board of Directors does have new email addresses now. We have switched over from our Gmail addresses to what the other regions are doing, and they have @macurh.org addresses. And so you'll find those addresses listed in the email for which I sent out this YouTube video. That's really all I have for now. If you guys want to contact me and let me know what you think of doing YouTube newsletters, if you'd rather stick with emails or you want me to continue this, I'd really like to hear some of your feedback. But also feedback on anything else I talked about or questions that you may have. I really want to begin establishing a lot of contact with you guys, and so feel free to send me an email. You can also certainly call me. My cell phone should be listed in the email, but if not, it's 402-250-3701, and I'm sure also the rest of the members of the regional board would love to hear from you as well. So if you have any questions, like I said, please contact us anytime during the summer. We'd be happy to hear from you. Other than that, guys, we'll see you at Missouri State University for MACURH 2010. Bye-bye.